So Jude was born on October 19th. Healthy baby, nothing wrong. 3 weeks after he was born, he started to develop a rash.
Within a course of 2 days, it spread all over his body, from head to toe, all over his face, his head, his abdomen, his feet, his legs. It was a pretty significant rash. So initially our pediatrician, she wasn't alarmed. She was just prescribing different medications. And then after about a week of different medications, nothing seemed to be working.
What our doctor was observing that we didn't know is every symptom he had was histiocytosis from the beginning, because everything she prescribed us wasn't working. Nothing was helping. And it just kept slowly getting worse and worse. And from there, she told me to get down to Memorial Hermann in the med center, ER, right away. She said she was calling them down there. I needed to get down there. And in that moment, I think everything happened so suddenly, I just was in shock. It was just almost, I was going in the motions because I really didn't know what was going on. I was just doing what she said I needed to do.
Yeah, Jenna called and said, hey, I'm headed home. I'm gonna pick you up, or we're going to the emergency room. So the first thing I felt was just confusion, because we just went for a routine checkup at the pediatrician. I didn't think anything of it, and then she says, oh, we're going to the ER. So I was confused, anxious, just didn't know what to expect, what we were getting into, didn't really know why we were going there.
Poor Jude, he had, I can't even tell you how many IVs, and he was stuck so many shots and screaming. He kept screaming. And I just sat there laying over the bed, and I think they were trying to get an IV in at the time. And I just kneeled over and I was praying for him, and I just prayed that, just please, that Jude doesn't feel anything, that this IV will work, because if it didn't work, they'd poke him again. And all of a sudden Jude just kind of got calm, and like that was almost like God putting his hand on our shoulder saying, it's gonna be okay, I got him. Everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah, and so we spent 3 days there at MD Anderson the first time. They did biopsy and just kind of observed Jude. And then we went home for the weekend, waiting on results. And then his rash progressed pretty significantly and spread all over his body. And then on that Monday, we got a call from MD Anderson saying that they didn't get conclusive results from the biopsy, and they wanted us to come back and schedule a day. And then we had sent them pictures of Jude, what he looked like that day, and they had said we needed to get there as soon as possible to run some tests and observe him some more. We kept getting information from different doctors that was confusing because they didn't have answers. We had infectious disease doctors come in and say it didn't look like it was viral, it didn't look like it was bacterial. So that was really leading towards this histiocytosis. So it was just angry because we weren't getting answers.
And we were at the top hospitals in Houston. And it was angry and just scared because they couldn't figure out what was going on with Jude. And we felt, it's 3-week-old, 4-week-old baby just laying there, and there was nothing we could do for him.
At the time, we never even heard of this disease. It's basically a disease that mimics leukemia. So, of course, as a new parent, not new parent, but a parent of a new baby, your mind starts racing. You're Googling, thinking, what is this? What are we gonna do? How do we treat it? Is there a treatment? Is there a cure?
And we would Google histiocytosis, and every single symptom, everything was exactly what Jude was going through, everything. It kept pointing to histiocytosis, kept pointing to it, and by then all we could do was sit there and pray. At the time we were praying for the least severe form of histiocytosis.
Was in between hospital stays. I had a breakdown in front of the oldest one, And she looked at me and said, "Dad, why are you crying?" And I explained to her that Jude was really sick. We didn't know what was going on. We needed answers. We needed to pray for him. And she just looked at me and said, "Dad, you don't need to cry. Everything's going to be okay." And so, like, to me, that was God speaking, using my child as a vessel to tell me that He's got a plan, He knows what's going to happen, and everything's going to be okay. And we just need to trust in the Lord and have faith.
When everyone started talking that Jude was sick, several people from the church reached out to us. It was good to know that we had the support. I felt supported, and it was good to know that the support from the church was there.
I mean, even before Jude's health scare, I mean, with the birth of Jude, the church was there. Jenna's part of several Bible studies and MOPS groups here, and they stepped in. They set up a food train for us then. They gave us diapers. They offered assistance with the other kids if we needed it. And then fast forward to Jude being in the hospital, they picked up the meal train again. I had people knocking at the door that I had no clue who they were, but they knew who we were and what we were going through. And I mean, it made you feel like throughout all this, we had someone behind our back just helping and being there for us. And
the church felt like our extended family, and still feels like family being here. We love it here.
So that Monday before Thanksgiving, we were meeting with the oncologist. We were discussing chemo, that roadmap, and her last words before she left was, it's not certain. We haven't gotten the results back, so let's just hope for something different. And then about 4 hours later that day, the dermatologist who basically diagnosed him with histiocytosis came in and said that the biopsies came back and he was clear. There was no histiocytes. There was no signs of histiocytosis.
I think when we first heard he had strep, I was in shock. I almost didn't want to believe it, because we had the whole time thought histiocytosis. Oh no, he has strep. What? I mean, that's a miracle.
It was...
Strep-induced psoriasis, and then a miracle on top of that, he doesn't have psoriasis. He only had psoriasis because he had strep.
I mean, I would say that this situation strengthened our prayer life. We went from, me personally, I would, say prayers here and there, just thanking the Lord for blessings, but this has really just made me a stronger believer in prayer, that, if enough prayers are said, and that as many prayers it can said, that it can help anything.
We went from praying for the least severe form of histiocytosis, and then Jude had strep. He didn't even have it. What a miracle, such a miracle. And it goes to show that prayers can be answered, and if not just answered, they can go beyond being answered.
So I call it the rebirth of Jude. He is a completely different kid. Before the hospital, he was losing weight. Now he's packing on pounds. He's chubby, happy, healthy baby.
Yes, Jude has a little belly now, has a double chin. He'll sit there and laugh at you, smile at you, coo at you. He went from being a frail baby, and now Jude's so lively and happy, and it's like a whole nother kid.